take my yoke upon you. So who's taking the load, the yoke? I am, you are, we are. We are the ones taking the yoke upon us. He is not forcing us to take the yoke. Hope you see it. It is not an imposed load per se. He's saying, when you come to me, this is what you will have to do. This is what I want you to do. But it's not by force. He is not forcing us to do it. So it says here, take the yoke upon you. You take my yoke upon yourself. It's you taking it. It's not me foisting it or forcing it on you. I'm not compelling you to do it, although I'm asking you to do it. So he says, take my yoke upon you. It's not a command per se. It's a fact. If you do this, this will happen. Okay, look at it. Take my yoke upon you. What is the yoke that he's talking about here? Take my yoke upon you and learn of me. So he's saying that my yoke that you will take up is to learn about me, is to understand me, is to know my character, is to know my nature, is to know about me. And then he follows it up by saying, for he gives a brief description, a quick brief description of himself here. He says here, and you have to wonder why he's saying this. He says, for I am meek and lowly in heart. Look at what he says after that. He says, and you shall find rest unto your souls. Let's put it all together. He's saying, take my yoke upon you. The yoke is to learn of me. When you learn of me, you will discover that I am actually really meek and lowly in heart. And when you realize my nature, when you learn about me, when you have an understanding of who I am, you will rest. It is in knowing me, it is in understanding who I am, it is in understanding my nature and character that you will find your rest. I find it interesting there that it says here in verse 29, the latter part of verse 29, it says, you will find rest. You will find it. And finding that rest is in learning about me, is in knowing who I am, is in knowing that I am meek and lowly in heart. I hope you see that. It says, let me read it again for you to understand it better, for us to understand it better. So he says here, take my yoke upon you. What is that yoke? The yoke is learn of me. All I want you to do is learn of me. Why? Because I am meek and lowly in heart. In other words, when I learn about him, I will realize, I will understand that he is actually meek and lowly in heart. And when I understand his nature, when I understand his character, in that understanding is my rest. I will find my rest in understanding him. I will find my rest in learning of him. I hope you see it. So is the sense that this verse gives you really will be something like, he's actually saying something like, you don't know me, you don't understand me yet. You think I am in a certain way, you think I'm this way, but I'm not actually like that. I am actually meek. I am actually lowly in heart. In other words, it's something like you have actually misunderstood me. You don't get me yet. You don't understand who I am. But when you learn of me and you realize that I am meek and lowly in heart, then, quote unquote, then you can relax. Then you will find rest.